Hello, my name is Danielle Moore, and I'm one of the Parent and Family Support Specialists with the Urban League of Greater Madison. The topic of this workshop is how to navigate Google Classroom. We'll start off with some general overview, and I will walk us through an example Google Classroom of what this looks like. So from the student view, you'll have to have your scholar log in to their Google Classroom. As a parent or family member, you only have access to weekly update emails or daily update emails, depending on your preference with Google Classroom. So in order to view what I'm going to show you, you'll have to log in and work alongside with your scholar. They have access to more within their Google Classroom, and that's just to keep safety and contact information private with the other classmates in your scholars' classes. So you have them log in and go to Google Classroom. From their little waffle icon, you'll scroll down and have them go to Classroom. That'll bring them to this kind of overview general page where they'll see a Google Classroom for all of the different classes that they're in. Okay. So once you click into the Google Classroom, your scholar will be automatically brought to the stream. And this is the place where your scholar's teacher will put any announcements that they have for the class. And this is also where your scholar will see if there are new assignments or materials added into their Google Classroom. Next, you'll see on the top here, this little classwork tab. So if you click on over to that, on the left-hand side, you'll see all of the different topics that your scholar's teacher has set up. And this varies from class to class, depending on how your scholar's teacher is working with organization. This could be topic-based, unit-based, week-based. It all depends on what your scholar's teacher has chosen to do. So scrolling through on here, you'll see the different topics and all of the information below it. And you'll notice that there's these icons here. They have different meanings. So these are just materials. This is a question within Google Classroom. And these are all different assignments that a scholar would need to do. You'll also notice here that there is a gray icon and a blue icon. And there is a difference between why those are different colors. So if you see in your scholar's classwork that there are blue icons, you know then that that is something that your scholar needs to do or submit their what they've done for it. When the icon is gray, that means that nothing has to be done or submitted, and that if it was an assignment, your scholar already submitted it. But for example, this materials is always going to be gray because there's nothing alongside of it to do or submit. Okay. Next, you'll see the people portion, and this is if your scholar wants to contact their teacher or any of their classmates. We head back to the stream. Another important thing that I wanted to point out, just as we're going through this overview, is this upcoming work tab on the left-hand side. So if your scholar has anything due in the near future, it will appear in this upcoming area here. And then that's an easy and quick way to see if your scholar has anything that they need to do that's due in the near future. Okay, next, bookmarking classrooms. So this is just an easier way for your scholar to have a quick and easy access to each of their classes' Google Classrooms. So if you go back to the home page of Google Classroom, you'll want to have your scholar click into the classroom. And then up on the top, there's a little star icon in Google Chrome, and in other different browsers, there's different ways to bookmark it, but this is how Google Chrome does it, which is how on their Chromebooks, the browser that they would be using. So you can have it go to the bookmarks bar, and you'll just title it whatever that class is, and done, and then it'll pop up in that window. And then the next time your scholar wants to go into that classroom, it'll bring them right into that stream page. And that's just a quick and easy way to go, rather than having to go to the big Google Classroom and then into it. Next, viewing assignments. So all of the assignments are stored in this classroom tab. If you want to work on an assignment or view the work that your scholar's done for an assignment, you'll just find it under whatever topic it's listed in. So we'll just go to that. And then when you click on it, it'll give a general kind of little short intro into it, but you'll want to dig deeper and press the view assignment. And that will bring you into everything that your scholar may need when they're viewing an assignment. So there's some things to know about viewing assignments and little features that go along with assignments in Google Classroom. So there are different attachments that will live here in this assignment. So this one has a Google Docs attached to it. Some might also have different materials that your scholar will need to work on that assignment with, and those are all just in this view assignment mode. There will be instructions on how to do the assignment, or that will be within what they need to submit itself. And then any additional materials and attachments will also be here. There are two different ways that your scholar can comment within an assignment. Maybe they have a question about what they need to do. They can either ask it privately to the teacher itself, and the teacher will be the only one that can see it. Or if they think it's a question that some of their other classmates might also have on the assignment, it might be useful to add a class comment where everyone can see it. So then they can also see how the teacher responds to help them as well. Okay. Submitting work. So once your scholar has finished an assignment, they can go ahead and work towards submitting the assignment. So in order to do that, we're going to go to a different assignment here that's blue. Go in there. You'll see that the scholar's work has their own document in here. And all you need to do is make sure that your scholar has done all of the work in whatever is attached to the work. Or if they need to add their attachment into it, they can link it through Google Drive, a URL link, or upload it as a file from their Chromebook. And if they are starting, they can also start a new doc, slides, sheets, or drawings right ahead in the add or create before they start their work. But if they're going to turn it in, make sure that they have all the materials that they needed to attach there, and then press turn in. And then it'll confirm that all of the work is attached there, and you'll click turn in again. Okay, and then unsubmitting work. And so this is another feature of Google Classroom. Maybe your scholar realized that they forgot to do a step in the assignment, or they need to edit what they did in their assignment. They can go ahead and unsubmit that work, unsubmit it, and then do whatever they need to do to update that assignment. And remember to turn it back in. So once it's unsubmitted, the teacher won't get any updates. If they change the assignment, they will just see that it's not turned in. So it's really important that they update it and then go back and resubmit the assignment. Okay. So now I'm going to go through some different Google apps and just walk through the different features of those so that you can help your scholar work in those different Google apps. So this is what Google Docs looks like. It's similar to Microsoft Word or any other word processing apps that you might use. Up here you have your kind of toolbar, all the different sections up here with different features. And then you're working on the page here. So in order to format text, maybe you need to change the font, and you can have different fonts in here, the different types of text. So maybe you have a title, different headings, or you need to change the size, bold, italicizing, underlining, changing the color. You can do it all here in this little toolbar. Otherwise, you can go up here and under format, you can select text. And then there's a couple more different features here for formatting text, different sizes and capitalization options. If you have different paragraph styles, aligning, indenting, spacing, if you have multiple columns, different list types as well. There's some awesome reference tools in here, spelling and grammar. So you always want to make sure that you do just a quick spelling grammar check before you have your scholar turn in any assignment. If they have a specific word count that their assignment needs to be, you can check it here. You can also use the dictionary. So if your scholar wants to find some synonyms or look up definitions, that is a tool there. Then the next tool is voice typing. So maybe your scholar isn't the fastest typer and wants to work on that, or they just have a thought that they want to quickly get out. You can go ahead and use the voice text feature. So you will just press the microphone and start talking, and then the voice typing will begin. Sometimes it doesn't pick up on what you are saying correctly, so you always want to make sure that you go back and double check to make sure that it all makes sense and punctuation is placed in there as well. And then you'll just click the microphone again when you want to stop it from typing. Okay. Next, citations. So if your scholar is doing anything where they need to do citations, they can go ahead and use the tool in Google Docs and select the different style and add whatever source they need and enter all of the information in, and then it will create the citation for your scholar. Maybe you added some different formatting, or you're copying and pasting a quote from somewhere and have this formatting that you want to eliminate. You'll just highlight whatever text you want, and then you will go up here in the top, and there's this little T that's crossed out. You'll just press that and it will clear out the formatting. You can add images into Google Docs. You'll just click Insert, Image, and you can upload it from the computer, search the web, add it from your drive. Lots of different options there from the Insert tab. Otherwise, in the top, there's also this Insert Image icon as well. If your scholar is working on a group project, they can add collaborators into their work by sharing it with them and giving them access to edit. They just need to type in their name or email there. And then there's a revision history. So if something happens where things get deleted, you can always go back and change it back to whatever old version that you might want it to go back to. Google has a good feature of automatically saving everything in their work, so it saves as it goes, so you don't have to worry about making sure that you're continually saving, but if something does happen, you can go back to an old version. Okay, so that's Google Docs. Okay, in Google Slides, here's some Google, this is an example of Google Slides, so let me go to the one that we'll have access to. Okay, so the overview looks very similar at the top to Google Docs. You'll have the different text features when you have a text box, so you can edit the text how you would like. You can change different backgrounds and layouts and things like that. So here's some quick little videos to show you what those are. Okay, and that's Google Slides and kind of what it has to offer for little tips and tricks on using it. Next, maybe your Scholar teacher would ask a question in Google Classroom, and all they would need to do is answer within Google Classroom. Okay. Back here. Google Forms. It has different options in it. There could be multiple choice where your Scholar needs to enter it in, or different short answer where they maybe have a sentence or a couple words, and then a longer paragraph option in there. They would just submit, and then it goes right to your Scholar's teacher. Another Google app is Google Sheets. So this is similar to Microsoft Excel. General overview, pretty much very similar to Google Slides and Google Docs with the little toolbars up here. There's the find option. So if you're looking for something, you can go to under edit and then find and replace. So you can have them find different pieces of data or information within Google Sheets. You can have different line breaks. So rather than having the text continue in one straight line, you can add in different lines by using Control-Enter. You can merge two cells together by highlighting the cells you want to merge and then clicking the little icon up here. And you can unmerge them as well. Or you can also do up here, format merge cells. You can also have different wrapping of the text. So if you don't have it wrapped, it'll just overlap throughout the different columns. But if you have a long line, you can have it wrap and automatically create the correct width of that row. You can freeze and unfreeze rows and columns. So if you have a piece of information and maybe a column or row that you want to stay while you're scrolling through your sheet, you can highlight that, press view and freeze, and then you can select one column, and then as I scroll, you can see that it stays there. And then you can unfreeze it by going back to view and then doing no columns. You can use a formula. So if your Scholar is doing some math, their teacher will most likely teach them the formulas that they need to use, but you always start by pressing an equal sign, or you can insert function, and then there's a bunch of different options for them to use. You can format the cells, so if there's different types of data, say it's money, percentages, you can have it change the decimal points or different types of dates, times, information in the cells. You can have it change to that. And then you can also collaborate on these, similar to Google Docs and Google Slides. And then you can also add charts. So if your Scholar has some data points, let's say here, and they want to insert a chart, you go to Insert Chart. Then over here, you can change the different chart types, as well. You can switch the rows and columns depending on the data. Yeah, and then this just lives in the sheet, and then you can just press delete in order to get rid of it. Okay. So those are all of the different Google Classroom and Google App features that I wanted to show you in this workshop. And please join us for drop-in office hours using the link there. And if none of those times work for you, please contact us and email us. We would love to set up an appointment to help you out. If you have any questions and want to call us, that's our phone number right there. And then also like and follow us on Facebook for awesome resources that we share and just more information on future events that we are hosting. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.